I still remember that morning like it was yesterday. The airport was busy, people rushing past, wheels of suitcases clicking against the floor. My sister, Elena, and I had just finished hugging our mom goodbye at the drop-off curb. We were flying to New York for a conference. Well, I was tagging along, but the invite was for Elena. She was giving the opening talk at a huge tech summit. She'd worked so hard for this moment. Elena looked beautiful that day. Hair pulled back in a neat bun, wearing a simple navy blazer, and carrying her laptop in a sleek case. She had that confident look she always wore when she knew she had something important to say, even though she was nervous. I could tell she was proud. We got in line at the check-in counter, and that's when things started to feel off. There were two lines, one for economy, one for first class. We walked straight to the first class line. Elena had booked herself a first class seat months ago. She said it was a gift to herself for finally making it. I was flying economy, which was fine. I just wanted to be there to support her. As we stood in line, the woman behind the counter kept glancing at us. She was helping an older white couple at the time, smiling and laughing with them. But when it was our turn, her whole energy changed. She looked at Elena, then at me, then back at Elena. This line is for first class check-in only, she said. Flatly, not even smiling, Elena nodded, polite as ever. Yes, I'm flying first class. The woman's eyes narrowed. May I see your ticket? Elena handed it over. The woman scanned it, then frowned. This doesn't seem right. Are you sure you didn't book economy? No, ma'am, Elena said, keeping her voice calm. It's first class. I booked it months ago. You can double check. The woman clicked around on her screen, and then without even looking back at my sister, she called over another agent. I need help here. There's a mistake with this ticket. We stood there for almost 10 minutes. People behind us were shifting, whispering. Some gave us looks. The kind of looks you pretend not to see, but you feel them anyway, like you don't belong, like you're holding up their day. Finally, the second agent came, glanced at the screen, then nodded. No mistake, she said. It's a first-class ticket. The first woman looked annoyed. Well, fine, you can go. No apology, no smile. Just that same flat tone. Elena thanked her anyway, always gracious, but I could see the tightness in her jaw. She was holding it in. We got through security and waited at the gate. The flight wasn't boarding yet, so we sat together. I wanted to say something, but Elena just shook her head. This happens more often than you think, she said quietly. I didn't know what to say to that. When they finally called first class to board, Elena stood up, smoothed her blazer, and walked to the gate. I stayed back, watching. I always loved seeing her in those moments when she stood tall, like she had every right to be there. Because she did, but even then, they stopped her again. Another gate agent. This one, a man reached out as she handed over her ticket. Mom, are you sure you're in the right group? Yes, Elena said, holding out her boarding pass again. First class. He scanned it, paused, then nodded. Oh, right. You're good. She walked onto the plane, calm as ever. I waited to board with my group, heart sinking. The flight was long, and we didn't talk much during it. I sat way in the back, cramped between two strangers, but all I could think about was Elena sitting up front, alone. I hoped she was okay. When we landed, we caught a cab to the hotel. It was late, but she still pulled out her laptop to go over her slides one more time. The next day was the big event. The conference was huge, sleek lights, big screens, rows and rows of chairs filled with people from all over the world. CEOs, investors, journalists, and there was my sister standing backstage, waiting to be introduced. When the host called her name, something shifted in the room. People turned. The woman they had questioned, ignored, doubted. There she was, walking onto the stage like she owned it. She started to speak. At first, her voice was a little shaky, but then she found her rhythm. She talked about growing up in a small town, coding on a broken laptop in our bedroom, how she learned to build software by watching YouTube videos and solving problems late at night. She told them how she started her company with a few $100s and a big dream. She spoke about hiring women, about building a tech team that actually looked like the world, not just one part of it. And then she paused. She looked out into the crowd. I flew here yesterday, she said, first class. Not because I wanted to show off, but because I earned it. But even then, I was treated like I didn't belong. I was questioned twice, not because of my name or my ticket, but because of what I look like. The room got quiet. I'm sharing this not because I want pity, she said. I'm sharing it because this is the reality for so many of us. We work twice as hard, speak twice as gently, walk twice as carefully just to be seen as equal. And even when we make it, we're still asked if we belong. She let the silence sit for a moment. Then she smiled. But I'm not here to complain. I'm here to build, to lead, and to open doors for those coming next. The room erupted. People stood, clapped, some were crying. I was crying too. After her talk, she was swarmed. People shook her hand, asked for her card, took pictures with her. She got 3 offers to fund her company that same day, and by the end of the week, a video of her speech had gone viral. But what sticks with me the most, more than the applause, more than the headlines, is what happened at the airport on our way back. We got to the check-in counter again. Same airline, different city, different staff. This time, when Elena handed over her first-class ticket, the agent smiled. Welcome, Ms. Green, she said. We've been expecting you. Turns out, someone in corporate had seen her speech. They updated her profile, marked her as a VIP, made sure no one would ever question her again. I looked at my sister. She didn't gloat. She didn't smile smugly. She just nodded, thanked the woman, and walked to the gate, because that's who she is. She never asked for special treatment. She never needed anyone to roll out a red carpet or bend the rules for her. All she ever wanted, ever fought for, was to be treated with the same respect as anyone else. To be seen for her work, her ideas, her heart, not judged by the color of her skin or the curl of her hair. She didn't want pity, and she wasn't looking for applause. She just wanted fairness, dignity, a chance to walk through the same doors everyone else walks through without them being slammed in her face. She worked hard in silence for years. While others had connections and open arms, she had to carve her own path with nothing but grit and belief in herself. Every late night, every rejection, every time someone looked past her in a meeting or called her too ambitious, she carried it all, quietly, gracefully, but it built something in her. Not anger, not bitterness, just strength. And now. They know who she is. Now, the same people who once doubted her name can't stop saying it. The same airline that questioned her now calls her a VIP. The same crowd that might have once looked through her now looks up to her. She's the keynote speaker, the headline, the leader in the room. They remember her name now, not just because of her success, but because of her grace in the face of ignorance. Because she didn't shrink. She didn't lash out. She rose, and they will never forget how they treated her before she made them regret it, not out of revenge, but because she reminded them in the most powerful way that she belonged there all along.